Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday. So the big question is, how did I sleep? Because as I said on the vlog before bed last night, I was going to sleep separate from Mao in the hopes of trying to get uninterrupted sleep. And that didn't go great. Because in the middle of the night, and this is on me, I should have left the door open. I should have just known that this was going to happen. I had the door shut because I was like, I don't want any interruptions. Yeah, well, that's not how Kepler works. So in the middle of the night, Kepler, suddenly concerned that he can't get to me, starts screaming and slamming his body up against the door. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. So I let him in because he won't stop. I know he won't stop. And it's also not worth it to me to sit there for an hour and then him puke. So I was like, I'll just let him in. And I don't mind him being in there. It's just...
You didn't want him waking you up asking for food.
Yeah, that was the thing I was trying to avoid. So I let him in the middle of the night, and he was only in there for 2 hours before he was like, hey, you get up? And I wake up, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, you don't get fed for like 3 hours or whatever. I was like, no, you lay down. So he was on the bed. I took him, and I very forcefully pushed him onto the bed, so he laid down and then kind of rolled him onto his side, and then he was up against me on his side, and then he started purring, and I was like, this. So I pet him a little bit, and then he was good. Then he slept until it was time for his food. It's like he needs help sometimes. It's like, what are we doing? What are you doing in here? And I'm like, no, you lay down. And he's like, oh, this is nice. It's like, yeah, please do that. So then I had to feed him because obviously Mal can't feed him. So got up and I fed him. And then I went back to bed. And he was good for 2.5 hours until his food went off again, his feeder. And then after his feeder went off, he came and got me up for some reason. I don't know why. But
You're not up.
Yeah, he just... he got fed, but he came in and he was like, hey. And he was patting at my face, which freaked me out because I'm like, you got claws. I don't need you to gouge my eyes out. And, then I had to do the same thing again where I was petting him and I kind of laid him down on his side and then he was like, oh. And then he was good for a little bit longer. So, again, I got a lot of sleep, but it was just as interrupted as it's been. And I'm like, So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it again tonight. And I'm going to go to bed pretty early. As soon as I give him his final meal, I'm going to go straight to bed. I'm going to leave the door open. And I'm going to hope that I can get a little more sleep that way. And it doesn't work as well because tomorrow's breakfast stream, so I got to be up earlier. Today I've woken up quite late. But we'll see, if today and tomorrow make a difference in my eye twitching, because that's the thing that's been bothering me. The other thing that's been recommended is to literally just wear an eye patch. If you make your eye not work, apparently if your eye doesn't have to work for a day, apparently that can help. So I might try that, in a few more days if I don't get any relief from doing it this way. But you're quite the kitty. You know that? Yeah, you. You're not very independent, you know that? I love him so much, but goodness gracious. When I'm trying to sleep, and I keep going back to sleep, and he keeps waking me up, I'm like, Kepler, please, honey. Please, just lay down. Probably obvious, but my eye twitching is still around, so it's going to take either some uninterrupted sleep or maybe that eye patch thing, but it has been twitching a little bit today. I'm filming this a lot later, but I wanted to at least show off one of the foods that Mom brought over. Mom continues to want to make dinner for us, and I am not in any way, shape, or form going to stop her because, for one, it's good, and two, it helps because we don't have to worry about making dinner. Obviously, still making other food throughout the day for lunch, but dinner is taken care of. And it's Mexican quinoa. This is something that we made, I would say we actually made it pretty often on the vlog, but it's been a while. I guess it doesn't look super appetizing because the liquid is pooled there, but we had some of it earlier for dinner, and it's so good. It's actually Mallory's recipe.
I got it from a different website, but I've changed it a lot.
Oh, okay. Mouse said that she's changed the recipe a whole lot, but I can put that in the description if folks want it. It's been a while since we've had it on the vlog, but it's something that we made a lot of at some point in our lives, and my mom has actually never had it. So my mom sent us a message earlier today. It was like, you know, I know that you guys are finishing up that soup. I'd like to make you another meal. Do you have any ideas? And Mal was the one that suggested this because despite being Mexican quinoa, it's not spicy, and it's pretty light. It's kind of hard to describe, but there's certain foods that you eat and they don't feel like very heavy, dense foods, and that's not one of them. You know, it's a pretty light meal. So my mom had never made that before, and she nailed it. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, and she had never tried it. She had actually never had quinoa, so she tried a little bit at our behest because we knew that she would like it. It's a vegetarian dish. She is a vegetarian. And it has all of these different flavors that my mom really likes. So whenever she finished making it, she tried it and she was like, I love this. She's like, I cannot believe I've never had this. So yeah, we got a bunch of quinoa, and my mom also learned of, you know, something new that she likes. It's kind of wild that she had never tried quinoa before, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that haven't had quinoa. It's good. It's good. There's it's obviously different. Like, it has a different texture. It's a different thing than rice, but a lot of times it gets compared to rice. But it's similar. It's similar. I think everyone probably would enjoy it to some degree. Today, Mal's pain levels have been a little elevated, like a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hurting today.
She's hurting, so I'm not sure exactly why. We'll see. I told her we'll give it another day, and if it stays elevated, then we might reintroduce some of the ibuprofen that we took away. Because, like, again, the ultimate goal here is to make sure the Mal is not in pain. We don't want her to experience pain. And while we want to eventually transition her off of the pain meds, if she's going to be in pain, then we can add some pain meds back. And again, she's no stranger to ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is more or less how she's lived her life over the past 2 years, dealing with the pain of endo on a daily basis is hard, and Mal actually has taken a lot of painkillers in order to try and just cope with the pain. So if anything, this is still just somewhat normal. Eventually we'll get completely off of it, but in the meantime, we're going to play it by ear and may need to re-increase the dosage a little bit if Mal's not, feeling any better tomorrow, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We will see how Mal does tomorrow, and just kind of go from there. And the other thing that I haven't shot it, but I gotta try and remember to shoot it, is Mal is playing another game as well, because Mal played through Cat Quest, and she's playing a Little King Story, but she's been working at a different game for like months, and it's Picross. There's a version of Picross on the Switch called Depixtion, and it's like I'm not a Picross person, but it's like 3 Picross levels in one, where you do red, blue, and yellow, shades of them, and then it puts together like a color image. It's like Picross hard mode. Is that the best way of putting it?
I don't feel like it's hard.
You don't feel like it's hard because you're good at it.
I like Picross. I got Chaz into it, so Chaz has been playing it.
Yeah. Mal's there's 100 levels in the game, and Mal's been working at it for months off and on, and you're on like level 96 or something?
Yeah, I had been playing it, and then once it got to 24 by 24 blocks big, it was too small to read on the handheld, which is how I had been playing it. So now that I'm on the TV, I could read it a lot better. So
I understand.
I only got a few left.
I don't know if I filmed that before, but I'll try and remember to get a shot of that so people can see it. She really likes puzzle games, and she's getting close to the end of it, so she's been playing a lot of that too. It's funny because when we first got you home, I've been editing those vlogs.
Yeah.
I keep talking about Ghost of Tsushima, but there's been all these other games that Mal's been playing. Eventually she'll get there. She does have interest in that. All right, thanks for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?